Right, so I was asked to make a video about my settings and the loadouts I use, and I've already tried making one earlier today. It didn't go very well, only had limited time. So this is attempt two. Um, I'm going to do it all in one take, so if I make some mistakes, I'm very sorry. It might not be as clean as the ones from other YouTubers. Yeah, not going to waste any more time. Let me go into it immediately. I'll start with ARs, my favorite, first the M4. So the way I'm going to be doing this is I'll take a stock gun without any attachments, and I'll show you what attachments I would normally put on it, dependent on what situation I want to play in. So for instance, the M4, many people would just do something basic like, well, let's take the most standard one. This is what people use, right? At least, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I've seen. What I personally do is I like to clear up the optic. I don't think this is very clear, so I like to take a Slimline Pro. If you don't like the Slimline Pro, go for the Cronin Mini Pro. This is universal. I do this always when I put a red dot on a gun. I tune it too far. This is going to give you less visual recoil. Excuse me. Less visual recoil. Why is it not? It just didn't want to. Anywho, here we go. That already clears up what you can see. Then, suppressors are good, don't get me wrong, but I prefer muzzle brakes, compensators. Normally I'd use the Sark and Tread, but apparently the Komodo Heavy is better, so from now on I'll be using that. It renders the F-Track Ripper completely useless. It's not necessary anymore. Basically, the only thing that the suppressor has over a compensator is that you make less noise. You don't show up on the compass. But AI is going to give away your position anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. As long as you have throwing knives, you're good. So yeah, Komodo Heavy just negates that recoil a lot and doesn't impact your mobility all too much. And furthermore, what I'd like to do with the M4 is, when going for little recoil, either you put a truant span on there, or you put a Sarkin on there, or you can go for underbarrel, which would be probably Gravedigger. F-Track Ripper is a bit overkill, but it's still possible. And then the X40 is another very, very viable option. It just does well. If you want to go for a bit more mobility, which is what I use normally nowadays, I would take away the optic and the stock and replace those for high mobility stocks. So either this one for general speed, or this one for if you want to strafe a lot, but I'd rather use this. The other option, of course, is this. It's just the Ravage on steroids, but it does impact your your recoil quite a lot, so I do not recommend it that much. This is overkill, don't go for it, don't use it, it's bad. So this is the build that I use nowadays. 45 round magazine, because mobility. You do have to reload more often, but that doesn't matter too much. If this is too much recoil for you, you can change the extent for a Sarkin, or you can go with the turret span, of course. Or you can take away the turret span, you can put an underbarrel on there, make it an F-Track Ripper, Gravedigger, or once again the X40. Another possibility is if you want a more clear view of your opponents, I would use the Slimline Pro, once again tuned too far. And that's basically the M4. I would always use the high tower because it's just insane stats. Then very similar in how you build it is the tack. For the tack, my build nowadays is practically the same as for the M4. Just a long barrel, an optic, an extended mag, and well, once again, either the X40, the Gravedigger, or the I forgot the name. Never use it. F-Tac Ripper. That's it. So those are options, or you can take away that and put a stock in it, either for more recoil control or for more mobility. Entirely up to you. Um, Same goes for the stock, not stock rear grip, although you do have less options here than with the M4. Magazine, 40 round for faster, 60 round for slower. If you want to get it back up to mobility, I would recommend using this build, which is easily to compare to the M4, where you use the grip and the stock for the mobility as well. Then a different one is Lachmann. For the Lachmann, it's quite different. I would always use an extended mag of 60 rounds on there, because it burns through your ammo way too fast. Optic is not necessary because it has very clean iron sights, but if you want to take a little more range and beam from afar, it might be good just to see your opponents a little better. You can go for mobility if you don't like it to be too slow, but if you really want to get those long range beams on Mazra, I would recommend the stock, not the rear grip. I don't like that one too much. Basically because there isn't one for general recoil, so it's not amazing. Muzzle, well, Komodo heavy is good, but the Lachmann just feels very good suppressed, just different than the M4 and the TAC, I suppose. Choice is yours. Echolus, Harbinger. Harbinger is the Echolus, but more polarized statistics. So it both gives you more range and more recoil, smoothness, control thingy, less recoil basically. But it also impacts your mobility more. So if you want to stay balanced, go for the Echolus. On Mazra, probably want a Harbinger. Barrel, well, these are good, I suppose, but this is the one that you would normally want to use, just because it gives such insane range that, well, if you want to play long range, you would have to use that. If you want to play more short range, then use the Lachmann 556, unless you can shoot all headshots. Once again, that gradation, this is the most, well, it has the most influence on your statistics, the highest range and recoil, but also the most impact on your mobility. And then these two do the same. This one a little different, but basically just use that one. Possible is the underbarrel. Once again, would not recommend it over the other attachments. These are the builds that I have stock, the ones that I normally would use. Unsuppressed, suppressed, with optic, without optic, and then this one just looks good. Just don't use it, it sucks. Kastov, pretty cool. Dart, look at the fucking name of the Discord. um, yes, I am recording. No, it did not get your voice, don't worry. Yeah, nah, don't worry about it. Nah. Anywho, I'm going to continue. I'm doing it all in one cut, one recording. Yeah. Yeah, see it. So back to it. Price, for fuck's sake, man, I'm recording. Why? I'm not doing all this over again. I'm sorry for the interruption. Castov, had some difficulties with this one in the first try of recording. I will always start with barrel on the Castov. That designates what kind of Castov you do. It's either range or recoil control. So it depends on what do you like more. Do you want to have to hit your opponent less at range, or do you want to be able to hit your opponent more easily, but you do have to get more shots on them on long ranges? Those are basically the two options, the mainly used ones. I'm going to show you two different builds. I use the Cast 10. I always put an extended mag on it because it's kind of useless without it. Just doesn't have enough bullets unless you want to go for a mobility build, which I almost never do with ARs. Maybe the M4. The bore or the leveler, basically just the ones I prefer. There's not too much science or logic behind it. Optic, I do like an optic on the cast of Slimline Pro, once again too far, and then for the stock I go with the broadside, not to make the mobility too bad. This is good, but it's not the most meta build. I haven't figured out the cast of entirely yet. My other build is suppressed and recoil focused, so Talon or Polar Fire, basically like the Harbinger and the Echoes. Barrel, I go with the K30. No optic on this one. Magazine, once again, 40 round magazine. Stock, I like to put on either the mobile for recoil, once again the broadside. And then on this one I'm also using an F-Tac Ripper, though you might want to replace that and put high velocity on it. You might deal less damage range, which you can tune out of it, kind of just a little, not entirely. But the Castov has quite a low bullet velocity, so it's going to be more difficult to hit shots downrange. But it both works, honestly. Moving on to the S2B. I fucking love the S2B. I only have one build for it that I use though, which is this. Once again, if you don't like suppressors, if you don't like compensators, you can use either one of them. You can put Echoless, Harbinger, Komodo, Sarkin. Once again, same for options. It's still an AR. Slimline, you don't have to use it, obviously. You can take it off, but it is recommended. The iron sights are not too good for long ranges. Also, you can get this the grip off of there, and you put either one of these on, which entirely depends on your personal preferences. Would you like more mobility or do you like more recoil? That was the SUV basically, didn't have too much for that. Two M16 builds that are slightly viable, I still wouldn't use them. This one long range, don't use it, it's an M16, it's shit on long ranges. This on short range, it's still shit, it works a little better than the other one though. And don't use this optic, put a slimline on there. And probably a Ravage instead of that stock. And maybe not a castle compensator, but once again a Sarkin or a damn it, Komodo. VX Pineapple can be replaced by either one of the Grave Digger, the F-Tac Ripper, or the Hex 40. But don't pay attention to the M16, it's still pretty shitty. I like to use this one. I like to use this one. And I like to use this one. No logic behind it. It's just a gun that I enjoy using, but haven't paid too much attention how to build it. Any one of these builds will do. This one is the shittiest, probably. This one is built to resemble the earlier shown Castle 762, but it does not work on the same level. This does. More beaming capabilities, same goes for this. Probably not hollow point, but high velocity on there. This works, the optic is different, not optimal. Same goes for this one, it's just a little bit of bullshittery. Now for the Chimera falls under the same class as the M13C, and possibly the M13B, depends on your build, but I recommend against it, so I'm not going to show it to you. I would use this, basically just this. I have no other good builds for it. This is pretty shitty. Maybe this, but no. It's impossible to use without the extended mag, so don't go for it. Once again, you can replace the muzzle if you rather have a suppressor. You can take off the optic and replace it with an underbarrel or a rear grip. Once again, dependent on what you want, you can go either for mobility or for recoil control on the rear grip. If you don't like the mobility on this, you can replace the stock with a Ravage 8 as well. I don't know if it's called a Ravage 8 on this, let me check. Ravage 10. Well, there you go. If you want more recoil control, just take that. Works very well as well. M13B, best build, in my opinion. No optic, but it beams, so it makes up for it. Once again, same thing with the suppressors, as you can see here. Variation, different optic. This optic, I mean, it's pretty cool, but it's not very useful. Not even the one from the the bundle that I'm using here. Because it looks a little cleaner than the regular version, if it wants to load. Which apparently it does not. Let me try again. There we go. Yeah, you see, it's a lot cleaner, but it's still a mess. The optic itself is too wide. You've got this. No more mobility. Once again, a variation on the first build that I showed. Would once again recommend the Komodo Heavy instead of the Sarkin Tread. Then we have this is a multiplayer build. Don't use it. It's bad. Also, Hemlock, great gun. Hollow Point on Blackout, basically an SMG build. Works decently fine. This one, thank you Vikstrun, insane. Incredible build, go for it. If you think it has too much recoil, just replace either the X10 with a Sarkin or the Echolus with a Harbinger, or both. Chrono Mini Pro, of course, can once again become a slimline. And then this, it's glitched, so you can put a 45 round magazine on it. That is probably the best option. Though, it has blackout, so it's not necessary to rock an extended magazine. You can also take off the FSS OLA, and you can put stock on there, mobility or recoil focused. I got this from a friend of a friend, thank you very much. Not you, Frost. The other Frost. Don't know if she watches my videos. This is pretty good. Has had influences from Vix's build from over here, though not too much. This is mainly my own one. It beams and it has blackout. I don't know what else you'd want. It's pretty insane. Tempest Razorback shoots marshmallows. Use this or use this. Probably this. This is my favorite build for it. It still sucks though, although it doesn't have recoil. That's the nice part. M13C. These are predecessors of this build, and this one is just made to look pretty, so don't use it. People think that it has a lot of recoil. I can gladly assure you that it does not. It's all visual. All you have to do is pull down. See? And I mean, I can't hit that one. Not too well, but that's because I'm a controller player and I have not yet warmed up. It's an insane build though. It works very well. If you want more mobility, can as always replace the Ravage 10 with the collapsed stock. Recommend against it, too much recoil. Bruin R90 or the Bruin Flash V4, which I believe all do more than the Ravage, actually. Yeah, kind of, except for the factory one. Never fucking mind. You can also use a rear grip, works quite well. Would not recommend more recoil control. This is the only build that I really use for the FR Advancer. Second tread can once again be replaced by a Komodo Heavy, which is better, but still an FR Advancer, so you might want to do something about the vertical recoil control as well. That's entirely up to you though. Guys, don't use it. It sucks. If you use anything, use this. But don't. Just don't. Cronin Squall. Impossible to pronounce, for me, at least. Semi-auto build. Not too good. The gun is pretty shit in general. Full auto builds. Same principle as with the earlier ARs. I'm not going to mention it again. Concept should be pretty clear by now. Attack V, thank you Barnabas. This is amazing. And so is this. Any one of these attachments you can swap out for each other and it will work. Just make sure you keep the ones that are on both. That is the magazine and the long barrel. In fact, Recon isn't as shitty as people think. These builds are made to look pretty, except for this one. And then you've got this. This actually does better than you might expect. Just make sure you have it on full auto. And don't use it on long ranges, it's shit. Close range, however, it shreds. Yeah, look at that. 3 plates, please go back up. Thank you. You see? Just make sure you keep it on full auto instead of semi-auto, and don't go too far. Lachman 762, well, I haven't used it too much, but these are the builds that I have tried. So, if you use anything that you want to use in my style, probably use those. Haven't used this gun too often either, so it's outdated, but this is what I would recommend. Once again, you can swap the optic out, you can swap the polar fire out, and that's battle rifles. I'm getting distracted too much. SMGs. Vel. Very good. Mobility, close range, uh, extreme mobility, no range at all. Bit of an older build, thank you Vikstron. Newest build, thank you Vikstron. Insane, absolutely insane. Use this if you want anything. Yeah, with the SMGs, I'm not too good with SMGs, so I'm not going to explain my builds to you. There is no logic behind them, except for the Lachman sub. I always use a 40 round magazine. I like having that extra ammo, especially because it literally eats its bullets. No 50 round drum though. I don't like how it looks, first of all, and second of all, I don't like how much it impacts your mobility. Also, barrels. This is only for extreme mobility builds. I do not use it. Falcon. For my normal builds, mobility focused. F-Jack, well, more range, less recoil. That's basically it. I'd recommend that one. For the stock, I use this, the mere recoil. Yeah, just that. If you want mobility, go for this, don't use this. Unless, once again, if you want extreme, so like this. But then you might as well go all the way and just build it like an absolute idiot. I mean, that is basically what I would do, but still. Hipfire build, I would recommend VX Pineapple, but I don't go for hipfire builds all that much. This is mobility focused, don't use it, it sucks. My current build is... Well, that's the thing I could have done for mobility, would have been bad. This is what I currently use all the time. Slightly modified would be with a lock shot, less recoil, but I like the sound of the suppressed one. Also, suppressor extends your range a little. Furthermore, a little older build would be this. So good, you can swap again that out if you want more mobility. You can also change it for a VLK. You can do the same with this build. Hollow point isn't necessary, of course. It just makes hitting shots a little easier, and it's overpowered. This works as well, obviously. These are the builds that I use mostly. Mobility focused, recoil focused, current because it feels nice, old, and the same one basically. Just it looks cleaner this way. MX9, I don't have a build for the MX9. I called this good, it's not good. Don't use the MX9, unless you are sure of it. Fastnev. Good, 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 good. Same things that you can swap out as with the Lachman sub. Just have a little look at the stocks, at the ray grips, and yeah, basically those two. If you want to go for recoil, if you need more recoil control, or if you want more mobility, look at those two. If you don't want it balanced, take away one of those two and put an underbarrel on there. If you want more mobility, take away probably the stock and put a laser on there. Hurricane, this is what I use sometimes, but I don't have a standard build for it. I never use it. This is a bad build, don't use it. Don't use Bison, just in general. I got this one, once again, from Vixtrin, and it's insane. So if you want to use a BAS-P, probably use that. Same goes for this one, although I think I might have built this one myself. Not entirely sure. Some things that you can swap out again, the stock, you can take away the optic, you can put different rear grips on there, underbarrels, or different barrels, muzzles, same muzzles as I've told you before. We can speedrun this now, can't we? PSW, Vixtrin's build, my old multiplier build, don't use it. Yeah, don't use them. The gun is good though, use Vix's build, not mine. This works very well, it's slower though. This works too. Sorry for the terrible quality, this is the first time I'm doing this kind of video. Vix, once again, might be an old build. I don't have a build for this. Oh yes, lovely. Use this. It shreds. If you need more range instead of mobility, just take the stock off, or take the rear grip off, and use an extended barrel. Optic, you can take that off as well. You should probably go with the extended barrel instead of any of those, or the the ammunition. ISO 9mm, old build of Vix's. Once again, I don't have a whole lot with the ISO 9mm. It does shred, I just don't have a build for it. The only LMG I have a build for is the RPK. This. I don't even use that very often anymore. Marksman rifles, I only have builds for the LMS. Stole this from Wizard. And for the TAC M, stole this from Vix with a few of my own inputs. Same things as always, just stock, magazine, optic, muzzle. Change any of those, go for it. Rear grip instead of a stock, also entirely possible. Underbarrel instead of stock of rear grip. You can take off the optic. Once again, make it one of those. You can make it with a laser. Just change it however you want. It's a sandbox, people. Also, this works. This works. Both of them. Just don't shoot from too far. Well, you can shoot from very far, just don't spam them. With this one, however, spam all you want. Doesn't have too much recoil. Probably the Almazra build. These two are chic. I don't have a build for a crossbow either. MCPR, I've got long range Almazra, don't use it anymore. It's not balanced enough. This, however, is. This is my build for the MCPR. Really like it. Recommend it. Always. At any point in time. Just if you need a sniper, find an MCPR, remod it to this, and it will work. This is a little more daring. No barrel and explosive rounds. Fast mobility, 5-round magazine. Make sure you hit your shots. I can't. Do it better than me. Victor's explosive build and the non-explosive build. Thank you, Vikstrun. He makes most of my guns. P890. I have recently developed this and it works. Otherwise for pistols, well, 50 GS. I haven't looked into it too much either. Stole a few ones from other YouTubers and made a few myself. The one I use the most is probably this one. Or this one if I feel a little less American. Damon, the other one that I would maybe sometimes use. This is good. This is good. But you should probably look up the builds of other people for that. Probably went way too fast. Probably didn't handle half the shit that you guys wanted to hear. Hope it was useful though. Now for these settings. We've got controller settings. There we go. The rest is all personal, so just take whatever you want. Button layout, I have tactical, regular, no differences. I have these settings. Oh, my sensitivity, I have higher sticks, pro sticks. Meaning that this translates on a regular controller to 12. Both of them. Armor player behavior is also quite important. And then I have my aim assist on again. It's been like, what, half a year now? I've played with it off for half a year. Don't know when again, but really makes you improve. I have it on default because I don't give a shit if Black Ops is better or not. I don't care about it too much. I like to have it enabled because it does assist you quite a lot, but I didn't want it to be too overpowered. Aim response curve type. I have it on linear, personal preference. But yeah, it's what I like. Dead zone. Personal, once again, put it as low as you possibly can without getting stick drift. Haven't even changed mine yet. The lower it is, the faster you can react. Gyro is useless for me, because I don't use it. And then these settings, which I haven't really bothered with. Make sure this is off though. And if this is on, as a controller player, it really helps. Quite a lot. And those are my settings. I hope that was useful, although I might have not done it very well. If there's anything else you want to know, just let me know in the comments. I'll reply to them. Any feedback would be appreciated, of course. If you have builds to recommend me to try them out, share them, absolutely. I'll try them on stream, probably in the last like, half hour, maybe 15 minutes, depends on how much I die. And thanks for watching. Good luck and have fun with those guns. Bye bye.